don't know. I feel like sometimes, like what I do doesn't really matter as much on the Reddit. Like I'm like what like I feel like sometimes there's downtimes and then there's uptimes on Trimbo, and that lasts for months, that lasts for weeks, that lasts for little bits. I don't know. It's weird.
It lasts for 5 seconds.
You know, GB, I was gonna say this. If you're gonna be my like backup guy, you have to do more. Like if I say some bullshit, like so it turns out like if I say something like it turns out zebras in giraffe are actually all they all have a disease that makes them slam their heads against rocks. And you're like, oh, hold on a second, that doesn't sound very accurate. And you Google it, and you like, I just Googled that, and I haven't found anything based on that. Like, you are completely open to calling out my bullshit or anyone's bullshit.
Just start the
job.
Start the podcast in the middle of the conversation.
I should move everyone over to VC 3000 because.
But I don't really want to call out bullshit because that's what makes it funny.
Well,
hey,
no, you calling out bullshit is what makes it funny. Hold on, I'm moving.
Hey, we're
Thanks,
in here.
Caleb. Awesome. And
Hey,
Biggest
Nipadora's here.
And
Sorry.
let's move Albino because we're already. Is Albino here?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we're in the So I was recording like a minute ago.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, so are the others in here but muted, or is this just
No, they're not.
Nifadora?
It's just Nipadora's here but muted.
Okay.
Wait, you're not here talking yet. Oh, whoops. Because you're not a moderator. Because you're just a regular guy right now. I haven't made you moderator.
Albino?
Yeah.
Albino
Why
from
do you have
Mod.
so many colors to your name? Wow,
That was-
everyone is extremely.
Oh yeah, we figured this out today, and then everyone just started messing with it.
Jesus.
I was waiting to be moved.
I figured it
I'm
out.
sorry, GB. Were you doing something? I'm
Nice.
too. I am a little bit too intoxicated to move anybody.
No,
right now.
you just started moving people, so I was like, okay,
All
it's
right.
moving
Well,
time.
I'm one of the
Yes.
guys. Hold on. Am I in Vanish? There we go. All right. I guess we'll have Albino over there. Like this works. You know. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
Cool.
Albino has a lot of questions for us anyway. Like,
Yeah, true.
let's get started with him. I guess.
Yeah, what's up,
Hey man,
Albino?
how you doing?
Do we do introductions? Like, I'm bass player. Who are you guys?
I'm bass player. This is Caleb, and say hi, Caleb. I
And-
guess.
Oh, hi, Caleb, I guess.
There we go.
What's up?
Albino. My name's.
Hey, how's it going? What's going on?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, turn your-
So I know we talked about this the other day. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, here's the thing: is like you've got to have it so loose. You know, you can't prepare it like it's an interview. You know, you.
Wait. He said we talked about this the other day. He didn't even say what he talked. What are we talking about?
Caleb,
Your voice just
Caleb,
got much
we
clearer.
didn't talk about it. Okay. So. What is the weirdest masturbatory experience you've ever had?
Oh my god.
We gotta keep.
This
in
is
mind, there's kids here.
okay.
Keep it 13 plus. Go.
Is there any kind of this kind of story that will be 13 plus?
You have to talk about.
All right, like my
story
like
about
sexual awakening or whatever.
plus 13.
Okay,
So,
okay. So I
metaphorically,
would.
just be as
All right.
you gotta do something. I don't care. You gotta keep
All right.
it like
It's
Put it
it's
on a
just a bit
cartoon.
awkward since it's my actual name, which is that will be on the internet with this story. Just the funny part. Fine, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Okay, I had a flip phone, probably in 2012. So I discovered I could go onto I could use the internet on this phone, and I oh shit, I don't have to go on the computer. I can just hide under my blankets under in the middle of the night or whatever, and then I would just I literally googled just boobs and shit and naked.
Google boobs.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I didn't. Okay, so my family's really really Asian. So like
Yeah.
we didn't. There was never
Dude,
like
I
there
have
was
a war
never the
story,
talk.
so go ahead.
There was never the talk. So everything I kind of had to discover on my own. So like boobs turned into like tutorials for different sexual positions. Blah 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 blah. And I'm just
Hey,
like looking at it.
whoa! That's good. That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know
No.
for later in life, man. Just go ahead,
Yeah,
keep going.
but here's the thing, because it was on images like on this flip phone, and it's
helps you.
it's like two dudes doing the positions, fully clothed,
Jesus Christ!
fully clothed. Like there was no nudity at all. It was just like two dudes. That's and I was like, is this what it's like? Dude?
Oh my god.
I don't even know.
Let me say this. So I had an awakening as a child, as a 12-year-old boy in the year 2006, and I had a Nintendo DS. You know, one of those original gray fat ones. What I would do is I would go into Pixel Chat or Pix something chat, Pixel Chat, and you had the ability to draw on that. So what you could do is you would be able to draw in this like 3 by 9 little message block, and you could draw whatever you want, you know. And so I would draw the top of some boobs, and then like the body, and it would draw like some boobs, and then I would send it off, and then I would draw like the body or whatever, you know. Keep in mind I'm 12. And then the next message, it would be this little, you know, that it would be basically, it would build a 3-part message of this female.
Oh my
That
god.
was nude, and that was my that's how I all got started, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have
Okay.
access to the internet. I didn't have access to any, you know, magazines, nothing, you know, like I couldn't even imagine what a female looked like unclothed, you know, like it was.
I had the same exact experience because I like as a child I'd only seen like male nipples and whatever because like I'm naked, my brother's like shirtless, my dad whatever,
Yeah.
and like every woman's covered, so I was like, do women have nipples? Like I don't know what's under there. It's just
my
a
God,
mystery.
But you know they do. You know they fucking do because you're like,
No, how
like
would I know?
you're a
How
baby.
would I know?
Like how would you know? Because you would know. Like you grew up. You survived. Like somehow. Like I knew they did.
Didn't think about it.
I knew they did. Like you could look at a female, like when they were just on a TV show, and you could see that they have fucking nipples, you know. But they would poke through their shit and be like, "Oh, okay, that's you."
No, I don't.
Your
I
mom
don't know.
would say that. My
what
mom would say, you know, females have nipples. Everyone did. Like I had a little sister. Well, here's another thing: is I had a little sister, you know, and like she was like a year and a half younger than I was. So growing up, I took baths with her, so I knew that females had nipples. And I knew what a female
I had
anatomy
two
looked
brothers.
like. Okay,
I just
so
had two brothers.
yeah, there you go. So you had a little bit different than I did.
And also, my parents completely censored what I watched on TV. They were like super strict about what I could see and what I couldn't.
Like my parents were like, if it was sexual, they kind of were like, ah, whatever. But if it was like violent, it was like, no, absolutely not. You are not touching anything violent whatsoever. Maybe that influenced me a lot.
That's literally opposite. Nothing sexual, but I could just watch like action kung fu movies, just people beating the shit out of each other.
Wow.
But like, if there's a nipple, like no way. Sexy, nope, not happening.
You know what? Maybe I'm. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah. Albino, thank you for that. Tell us about. Oh, I'm kind of scared.
You asked Albino.
I'm kind of scared to ask. Tell us about your awakening.
So it was.
Hello.
It was 8 p.m. Okay, it was 8 p.m. I took my dog on a walk into the forest.
Oh my god.
How old were you?
I think I was around 12, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I took a walk in the forest.
We'll see.
I took a walk in the forest.
Did you find a magazine or?
Yeah, I did. I found a magazine.
Yeah. That's pretty common.
Yeah, I was about to say this is like a kind of a trope, like just going
Yeah.
and finding magazines in the woods.
In the middle of the woods, like why people find why people. So here's the other question: why do people drop magazines? Like I've seen that so many times. Like growing up 15 through 17, like you would find porno magazines or just some magazine in the middle of the goddamn woods, just there in this little. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Uh,
I think it's because it was before the age of the internet, like, and you didn't
Yeah.
want to like hide porn in your room. Your mom might
And it-
find it, so if you
and
lived
I
in the
think
woods, you could just hide
I
it
think-
there.
I think
Yeah,
it kind
no,
of
I
carried
did-
over a little
I
bit
did.
too.
so I found out
The
that I could
beginning
hide
parts of the internet.
and do it because the woods were kind of deserted. There were houses back there, so that was kind of my little spot until
Yeah.
we moved.
Oh god.
Nice. Well,
Very
everybody needs a little spot, Like most of us, it's the bathroom. For him, it's the middle of the woods, And if somebody's
Yeah.
wandering along and they see, like
That just
they're
that feels so
exploring.
exposed. That feels so exposed. I don't
Look,
even if there's no one watching,
Look,
just
look,
doing it outside.
look. You got to think of other people, though. And
That's
if
cool.
you're wandering through the woods, you're looking for something new, and that is adventure. Like that is something you didn't. You're looking for something you're not asking for when you're exploring, and that is exactly what that is. And so if you do see that and you get disturbed, well, you need to understand that the universe is filled with chaotic things that may come and disturb your life. And if you're going out exploring, you're more likely to find one of those things.
Yeah.
And I think that shapes you a little bit. And if you understand that concept at an early age, you can go out into the universe and find the craziest things, because you will find disturbing things on every single angle. And if you're able to go, okay, that's there, and I'm going to try to avoid that. Let's try to look at other avenues. You can go on adventures and really
Yeah,
survive.
The world's fucked up if you look
Yes,
hard enough.
exactly.
You're gonna find some shit.
You will
Like
always find some
100%.
shit. But if you let that
Yeah.
bring you down, my point is if you let the scary things stop you from becoming adventurous, you're not gonna have an adventure in life, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's goddamn scary. I'm gonna back down from here. You're gonna have some problems. But what you have to do is you have to see those scary things, avoid them, or try to handle them in some way to allow you to move on in life unaffected and able to carry on that adventure. I think life's an adventure is what I'm saying, So don't be scared to grab a hold of it, because if you sit there and do nothing your entire life, this guy will pull out a lightsaber and cut out your goddamn hands.
Dude, I relate so hard to what you're saying. Like, just you have to kind of just go out and explore and stuff. Because it's like where I'm at in life, like right now. Like I dropped out of school. I've been like,
yeah.
Every month that goes by, I'm like thinking like I gotta go back. I gotta like
You're
go
doing
into some
nothing.
sort of program. Yeah, I'm literally doing nothing. Not that
You're
this Minecraft
wasting
server is
away.
nothing.
You might have, no,
Yeah.
no, I get it. You're wasting
Yeah,
away.
no.
You feel dead. Like you have no
Yeah.
idea how much I feel you do.
This Minecraft server is like my biggest priority in my life. Like how it's like.
And sometimes
I
you
love the
wake
server,
up at night
but
and you're
yeah.
like, a Minecraft server is my
Yeah.
biggest priority in life.
This is
that's-
literally like I treat this like my job
Dude,
essentially.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. Hearing you say that kind of scares me, because it shouldn't
Mhm.
be. This Minecraft server should not be in any way your biggest priority. Like, and that like it's in one way it's like, I don't know, for reals, dude. Like you can't jump. Fuck.
It's so easy to make excuses because basically I kind of
There's
just
1,000
wasted
reasons to do something.
2020. I dropped out in 2019. 2020 I told myself I'm going to get back into school, join some program, whatever, and then COVID hit. And I'm like, oh, COVID, I can't do anything. Blah 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 blah. 2021, I've made no plans. I'm in the same spot as I was 2 years ago when I dropped out, and that just freaks me out because I'm almost 21 now. I mean, it's not like I'm 30 or whatever, but I didn't mean that as like an old thing,
Dude,
but
yeah.
you actually have at least you have a job and you have like you have a life. Just when I said 30-year-old, I was like, oh yeah, shit, base is like 27.
Nah, dude, it's okay. It's okay. It's a fate I have to accept.
Yeah.
It really is. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was.
Are you stealing my jokes, Caleb?
No.
What?
So
No.
the funny thing is, I was in your position at one point exactly. I was 19. I was working at a car lot, and I was working with this guy who just turned 26. And when he turned 26, he's like, dude. He looked at me and he said something that hit me in the fucking chest, a lot harder than it hits me now. He said, "In 4 years I'll be 30," and that hit me. It was like, in 11 years I'll be 30. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. I don't know why that hit me so hard. And since then, it's like 30 has been this giant number. When I hitting 25 was bigger than hitting 30 for me. Like, it's weird.
Well, you're not 30 yet,
Because as the number's approaching, like 30 is a giant number. It's not. It's an easy transition. It's not even.
It's like a cliche, but like in my teens, time went so much slower. Like every year just went by so slow. I just feel like everything is accelerating, and I'm like time's getting ahead of me, and I'm not catching up in time, and that's what scares me.
Like in my 20s, I experienced a lot of loss. So especially it was all at once, pretty recently, and it was. That's pretty life changing. But through my 20s, I was always kind of expecting something crazy to happen. And it's like, you prepare for it a little bit. You look ahead, it's like you're walking through a dark tunnel and you see a bright light. And you're like, that's a fucking train. That's a fucking train. That's a fucking train. And that train hits you and you're like, that was a train. It's funny to think about, but it's crazy to understand. Because when you're there, you never would think you'd be in the position that you're in when you're there. When something massive happens, when your planet gets hit by a meteor, you never thought you'd ever be there. But you're there, and you're like, how do I handle this?
Yeah.
Where are you? Where are you with Wife Albino? What are you up to? I don't even know how old you are, bro. Like, what's up with you?
From a question about masturbation.
Okay. Do you want me to ask another question, or do you want me to say something about myself?
No. This is a free flow conversation. Yeah. Where's you at your goddamn life?
Okay, so school's been a lot harder. I realize that slowly and steadily I'm realizing that everything's getting hard now. It's starting to progress into that point in my life where it's starting to actually become an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
Just having to get up every morning is just a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
But
when you keep going.
No, you can go.
No, I'm just saying because I felt that when I went away to college, like when I was in high school, if I didn't want to go to school, my parents would just like not really technically kick my ass. They would just like get me out of bed, force me to go to school. I go to college, I have all this freedom, and then I'm just cutting class. I don't have to go. It's like it's not necessary, and then I'm just like all behind on my work.
Hold on.
It's so easy.
So easy. That's why I failed my first year of college.
It's so easy
because you're paying for your own class. You don't have to go to class.
Yeah, exactly. The teachers don't give a shit. High school teachers, they literally like are babysitting you. Like if you're behind on your work, they'll like tell you like help you get behind it. They won't. College professors, they won't help you. Well, they will help you if you ask, but you have to make initiative.
Yeah, I truly believe that people before they go to college have to have something. Like they have to either take a year off and know what the real world looks like, or just have the shit beat out of them. Because just take them into an alley and just beat the shit out of them for like 15 minutes. And be like, all right, go to college now, and they'd be like, that's holy hell, I almost died.
It's hard. Because you can coast through high school. You can basically like just not really study that much. You can't do that in college.
Oh yeah, you absolutely can't.
It'll kick you in the ass.
You don't know how you.
And then all of a sudden you get
out of high
whatever.
school.
Yeah.
You're like, oh well, I can like you don't turn something in January, you could turn it in May. And they'd be like, oh, you're
Mhm.
good. That doesn't work that way in college. Like you have a deadline, you didn't turn it in, that's gone. Bye. You didn't turn it in.
Mm.
And if you failed, it's like, oh, you failed. I'm sorry,
Yep.
dude.
Too
Better
bad.
luck next time. Dude,
Yeah.
here's a fact. Okay, let me tell you about my college experience. I failed real quick. God, it's never real quick with me. I'm so sorry. Um, I failed remedial math 3 times. I took algebra once. I took algebra 2. I took calculus and I took pre-cal, calculus, and trigonometry. No, I took pre-cal, passed that. Took calculus and trigonometry in the same thing, and barely passed those. The only reason I passed those two is because I was in a study group. There you go. Quick story from base.
Yeah. Study group.
Yeah,
I was
100%.
too scared. I was too scared to like join study groups. Like my social anxiety, it
You
was
gotta
fucking
be the
crippling.
guy. That's how you fight depression. So
Yeah, I
found
had
out.
to take initiative and go and try to make friends, even though I couldn't. I couldn't because in the way my schooling worked, like in middle school, all my friends were from elementary school. I never like learned how to make new friends like in all my childhood through teenage years. So going to a whole new group of people, I was like, I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna stand there awkwardly and do whatever. I don't know, and I couldn't make any friends. It sucked.
You know what? Albino, I think you should start doing the podcast because this is pretty good. I like what we got going on here.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Because he's not
What's
saying
going
anything.
on?
You and I are just talking. Like I love this.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Like I feel like a guest.
So I have another question here. I had to start off strong with the
What's
whole
up, man?
masturbatorial thing. Okay. Okay. This is kind of stupid. Okay. If you guys had a superpower, if you got to choose one superpower, okay, what would you choose and why?
Superpower. Like literally, like by superpower, I mean like I can do anything I like, any ability.
And
I think
and then
time
Explain it
time
and
manipulation.
give me
Fucking damn it, piece of shit. All right.
give me
All
give
right.
me-
Go ahead. Keep going. Or can I just say my thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I would say the fabric of space-time bending manipulation. That's what I would say my ability would be nice to do.
Okay, now tell me why you guys would pick that.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Well, when I said like time manipulation, I had two thoughts. One is to like time travel.
I'm a nerd.
Essentially, I can go
Being an
back,
asshole.
fix my
Go ahead.
mistakes. Like if I had a test, I can just go get 100 on everything. Go to the future, see whatever the fuck stock is, like fucking going to the moon, get rich like that.
Yeah.
Or other time manipulation is just like to be able to pause time and just like you know how like in slow-mo movies, like in Dodgeball, you can like slow like down time, essentially like the Matrix, and just like look like you have super fast reflexes and stuff like that. So those kinds of time manipulation is like what I think it would be awesome.
Nice. I literally am in the same. So my space-time manipulation is through the fabric of space-time through relativity. So if I had the ability to bend space-time, I'd be able to just create a massive amount of energy in one spot and allow that to bend gravity and space-time in one area and allow me to be inside this little pocket so I can move wherever I want to go. I'm really into UFOs. Okay,
So,
I have-
that's
I
a
will
good
get-
that's a good segue to aliens. What are your thoughts on aliens? you bring up UFOs. We have to talk about aliens,
okay,
right?
Let me
the
start
rest
out.
of the rest of the podcast.
No, I'm sorry. We don't have to talk about aliens. I don't want to talk about aliens. We could.
You don't want to talk about aliens?
Like we could, but I don't want to go deep into that. Okay, so
All right.
all right. So here's some facts. Okay. So the government recently released something through the White House. Like I don't know if it was through the Pentagon or the White House or something through the FBI, but basically they released a document saying that they have footage confirming that there is UFOs, and there was an incident in 2004 where a pilot flew out to an area where they saw something floating above the water. So we went to go intercept it, and as he went to intercept it, it noticed that he was there. It got in front of him, and he got into a rotationary pattern where he tried to rotate around it, and he rotated in the other maneuver, so they're going side to side, and so he goes across the clock, if you will, and as he does that, that object, which looks like a tic tac, goes right in front of him, and it just disappears. This is all documented. And later on, somebody else goes out there with a forward-looking infrared something. Basically, you can see infrared, and they can see him. He went out and he saw this object, and what it does is it's this disc object, and it moves. I can even post the YouTube video. It's called you can YouTube David Fravor, and it's a UFO video of just basically this object that's moving, and it rotates. It self-actuates. It doesn't. There's nothing clear that's there because it's infrared. It can sense temperature. It's colder than what the background is, and it moves without any real thing. It rotates in one direction, and that's it. That's all it does, and that's really kind of interesting. So I kind of dug deeper, and I listened to some Joe Rogan interviews, and I went down a rabbit hole. I don't know. That's yeah.
Well, very cool. I don't know how to respond to that. Well,
I don't know. What do you think about UFOs?
I think I believe in UFOs. Just UFOs in general, or aliens?
I mean, what's your opinion on the idea that the government? No. The idea that there are craft from other star systems visiting our solar system.
Do I think that there are other crap from other other solar systems visiting us?
What do you think about that? Let's talk about that.
How could they go undetected? How not even if the government's keeping a secret? There's got to be some guy that's seen it. Do they have cloaking technology or whatever?
And I'm sure there's somebody that sees it, and I'm sure that it doesn't get.
And probably no one believes them. They think they're just full of shit all the time.
So that's the big question. If I could go outside tomorrow and look into the sky all day long, and I can probably identify everything I see. I'd be like, that's a plane, that's a bird. That's about it. That's a helicopter.
Yeah.
That's it. I might see a flash of light way off into the distance, but for the most part, I could probably say that's an aircraft. That's because that's happened before. But if I see something that a cylindrical object that goes, that's really far away, that's moving and then stops, and then kind of sits there for a minute, turns, and then goes into a different direction going really fast. That's something I would be like, okay, I don't know a plane or a helicopter or a drone or anything that could do that.
That's clearly suspicious.
Yeah, that's different, And so, I don't know where I was going with this. What do you identify as UFO? It's just something you don't understand, So it's like a ghost video. Right? So you could show me all the videos online of ghosts, so somebody's sitting there and he's talking on a vlog and the door behind him opens and he's like, what the fuck? And or somebody sitting there, or a video of a security camera and there's a ghost walking by, you You could show me all the ghost videos in the world. Like, okay, so you say that's fake. So you say this is fake. So you say this is fake. Well, like somebody trying to prove to you, well, there's been ghost videos since the goddamn 60s, since the 50s, since we've been able to record stuff. There's been ghost videos, and there's been reports of ghosts since the dawn of time. Literally, there's been reports of UFOs since the dawn of time. This is a fact. There are things going on.
Where's the evidence then?
So there. Look, let's back up here. What?
Okay.
Tell me. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is causing the moon to go around the Earth right now, like orbit around it?
Oh God, I'm
answer
sure.
this question. It's really simple.
I learned this in Earth
Gravity.
science. Gravity.
Yes.
Yeah, gravity. Yeah.
What is that?
Something we don't really. Do we understand gravity?
No.
We don't know why it
We
happens.
can only
right?
observe it. We don't know what it is. We know it's a wave.
So what you're getting at is there are unknown forces that we cannot
there is
explain.
phenomena that we can observe on the universe that we have absolutely no idea how it works. That we
My
see
problem with
all
my
the time, and we are like, I don't know. Like I said, you can show me all the ghost videos you want. You can show me all the UFO videos I want. You can, and I can be like, yeah, that's I can't explain that.
Mhm.
And that's the end of that's it. That's the end of the line. Like, I just can't explain it. There's nothing else. Like, that's you can tell all the. So humanity is all about telling stories and throwing out what doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's how we make sense of the world.
I agree, and there are a lot of forces that are maybe not unexplainable, but we cannot comprehend yet. My issue is that just the fact that we can live past our own consciousness, like after death. Like, I just don't. At what point, like, you know, if you believe in evolution, at what point in like the evolutionary cycle do we just start becoming ghosts and reincarnating and coming back?
Is
why
consciousness? What is consciousness? You can't explain
I
it.
don't-
We've never been able to explain that
Yeah.
either. So at what point makes us different than a plant or a monkey? Our ability to look at something and go, that is insane. Holy shit. Something massive. Is it our perspective on life? Because babies look at things and
do
they get
animals not have
distraught.
consciousness?
What defines consciousness?
Just like
So that's a
I
whole
think
other concept.
kind of like perception, right?
Right.
I think people come up with like ghosts because we're afraid of death, and this is kind of just going
here's
into a
the
religious
god-
thing. I don't know if anyone is religious here, but like it's just to me it just feels like it's a way to make us feel better about people dying.
Okay, so that's
and-
nihilism. That's nihilism that you're looking at.
Is that nihilism?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay,
So
I guess
nihilism
I'm a
is-
nihilist.
Yes, and that's fine. That's completely understandable. But energy, you need to understand the first concept, the first rule of thermodynamics is that energy is neither created nor destroyed. You and
Yeah.
I are an energy. When you shut a computer off after you've been gaming for a while, that energy goes back into wherever it was going. Not all of it. A lot of it is expelled. A lot of it is expelled when you're gaming. But there is a positive and a negative. So in a DC connection, not an alternating, not an AC connection, but an AC connection basically is where a current is alternating from positive to negative over and over and over again in a it's very fast. I don't understand it very well. But basically, if you plug your computer into a wall, that's a DC connection. And you have maybe I'm getting this completely wrong. You know, someone might Google me later. Let me Google myself now. Like, is a wall connection is DC? I'm pretty sure. And if that's the case, you know, when you shut off your computer, all the energy that is your computer goes back into the wall, for the most part. What's expelled through the lights the tasks that you do, the process that it processes, everything that it does is used when it does that. But for the most part, when you shut off your computer, it goes back into the wall. The same thing happens with you. When you die, something happens with your energy. Does it go off? Does it spray off into the universe like you would spray a can of Febreze into the air? Just
That's my,
away.
that's what I think.
But is the universe a little bit more? You see, that's a nihilistic way to look at it in one way, because it's just like the universe was created, by coincidence. Nothing exists on purpose. We're all gonna die, and it gets black when we die. Let's just go.
I feel like that was I think that was a Rick and Morty
That's
quote.
literally a Rick and Morty quote, and that's kind of
yeah.
At the same time, I was watching Rick and Morty. I was taking humanities, and we were talking about nihilism, and it was a very easy connection. It was like, oh wow, there it is. So I use that reference pretty often. I'm a goddamn fucking pretentious piece of shit. Like, oh, you watch Rick and Morty? You didn't make that up. I get it. I'm a piece of shit.
I watch Rick and Morty too, dude. I love Rick and Morty.
But what if there's a force there that creates us? So life is a thing. If we look at nihilism the way it is, we shouldn't exist, because millions and millions and millions of years of evolution, I guess, that would create us, right? But what if millions and millions of years of the universe has also done something else for that realm of energy? Because we don't understand the quantum realm in any way whatsoever. There's so much of the universe that we don't understand. Why do ghosts exist? Tell me about, okay, stop right here. Tell me your story about what you've heard about the purple green man. I'm sorry, the green man that I'm sorry, the purple man that eats babies. Do you know about that guy?
I have
No,
no
you don't,
idea
because you've never heard of that guy. You've never heard about the purple guy that eats babies. That's an extremely specific thing. Well, ghosts are very broad. My point is you've never heard of other things besides ghosts. Ghosts are a phenomenon, sometimes that explain things that you can't explain, but also, why are they there in the first place? Why didn't you hear about the purple green man that did that? Like the purple green man that forgot to get the groceries. You can see albino bouncing in the background. My point is this: there's a reason why people say ghosts exist. There's a reason why people say Sasquatch exists. There's a reason why people say UFOs exist, and there's a reason why there's all these little monsters and things that are still around and people still talk about while we have the internet that are still kind of relevant. I don't know, like maybe ghosts will fade away in the next 20 years because they'll be less relevant. But my point is they still kind of exist. The idea of ghosts. People,
just the idea is what you're saying, not actual ghosts.
So my
but
point,
maybe we don't know.
Because I will say this: there is some shit when I was growing up that I couldn't explain.
Mm-hmm.
I have honest ghost stories. And I could bring him up right now, but I don't want to because, whatever. Because we need to talk to Albino because he hasn't spoken in a minute.
my natural reaction to people saying ghost stories is I feel like the human mind is just not very reliable. Like witness testimony has been proven to be completely inaccurate a lot of the time.
Yeah, but if I'm sitting in a room, right, and I'm if I'm sitting right here talking to you, right, and my door just opens right now, if my door just opened, I would turn around and be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Literally, my door just opened. That has happened in real life before multiple times. Okay? Here's another thing, completely different. The slaughtering of cows has happened all over the world. Over 10,000 cases of cows have been slaughtered. Nobody has ever been caught with a machete and a knife in their car slaughtering cows, taking their organs, all of their blood in sacks, and leaving a site. This has happened where somebody would release a cow 30 minutes later, some cows would become distraught. They would go over to an area and see a cow just completely ripped apart with in an area where no blood is, and the actual cow has no blood inside of them. Explain that.
Oh, I obviously can't explain that. That
Here's the
seems
thing: is like you're like, okay, well, there must be other variables at large. There might be, but the people have looked into this. People have gone, okay. People have thought exactly how you and I have. Like, okay, well, there's obviously other variables there, you know. And the bullshit. And every single time a story like that comes out, people like you and I look at that type of scenario and go, okay, so there's other variables we can look at. Let's look at this. The obvious variables. Okay, so your car is misfiring. Let's look at your spark plugs. You know, you don't hear about those stories because they happen all the time. But what about the stories where your spark plugs are good, your catalytic converter is good, like the gas, everything is working fine. Why isn't your car working? Why is this weird thing going on when clearly everything should be okay? The public should know about this. And when it becomes clear to the public, they go, well, obviously it's swamp gas. Well, you need to understand, the smarter is people just as smart as you have already looked into the variables that you first think about. So why do we hear about these UFO stories, especially when the government is coming out and saying, and this happened in July of last year, they came out and said that they have craft that is not made of this earth. You can Google this. And I sound crazy when I say it. That's why you don't start off with, well, 9/11 was an inside job. You start off with, why was there a plane that was hijacked and flown into one of the Twin Towers, and a second one that was done an hour and a half later? You start off small. You know, because you've researched this for so long, and you're like, but at the same time, you're like, well, maybe this guy's a little bit crazy. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You go a little deep into things, and no matter what, you can't, because you get fed with so much information, you can get fed with a lie and just go deeper and deeper and deeper into that lie. And it's just not good. That's why you always have to, you can backtrack all you want, but if you don't backtrack past that lie, you're gone. Anyway, I went down a rabbit hole. Albino, let's talk about something, whatever you just talked about.
Okay, fun story time. We've
Fun
reached the
story
section where Larry talks about his fun, annoying stories.
Larry.
Cucumber, because like, okay,
Veggie Tales, yeah. I got you. I watched Veggie Tales as a child.
I never watched VeggieTales.
As a child, I still watch it.
Oh, really? I heard they revamped it. They make it all cute now.
Oh, I don't even know. So, should I pick this up off of? Okay, did you guys hear about that story? The smart chastity devices.
The smart chastity devices?
Like where you can lock it from your phone. And so
chastity, like anti-sex chastity?
Yeah.
I get it.
So they, some dude hacked into it and locked them all.
Dear God.
And is now holding every guy that has one hostage.
Oh my God! I'm looking at the pictures of these.
Bitcoin. You looked it up.
Yeah, because I didn't know what you were talking about. This is terrifying. I've seen chastity belts before. This is like a dick clamp. What the fuck? Did you have something to say about them, or just wanted to bring it up?
No, I just thought that's
DM that to me. Let me see that thing. Should I see? Hold on. Before you do that, should I see that thing?
I'm sure you can handle it. Are you going to show it onto this the screen?
It would be on the screen, like, you know.
There's no dicks in it.
I don't think so. No, I'm good. I don't want.
Yeah, let's not. It's like a thing that clamps onto your. I don't even understand the mechanics. Can you explain the mechanics of this, Albino?
Well, I mean, it's a chastity device. It's basically all you
I
need
think
to know.
that's all we need to know is
Yeah.
that kind of device. If you want to look into that,
Yeah,
some
Google it
defense
on your own time if
experience.
you want to know about it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just thought that was a funny, stupid story.
Wait, what was it? A story? Did you get one?
Ouch. Okay, you guys have anything fun to talk about? Because I feel like I'm giving all
I've
like
got a
the
lot of things to talk about.
What do you want to talk about, Base?
I don't know.
Let's give me something.
I could go back into UFOs all day long,
I think we should move on from the UFOs. To be honest, I have nothing to,
No,
to say to
100%
that.
talk about you. Well, let me
You
ask
like
you this.
when you
Well,
it's a thing that happens when you have so much information on it, and I have no research on it.
let me.
I don't
okay,
have. I don't.
well,
I
let's
can't
move
say
on
anything.
from there. What did you think about of? You didn't participate in Trimbo Tuesday.
I
Because you
participated
Trimbo.
in Trim. No,
no. Let's
I
talk
didn't.
about, actually, no. Let's talk about the last Trimbo Tuesday because it was very similar to this Trimbo. Not as it really wasn't because the last Trimbo.
By last one, do you mean
lasted
did you mean the
longer.
one yesterday or the 4.5 hour one?
The 4.5 hour one.
I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome.
I had a lot of time.
I really genuinely I really like the community.
What did we do?
We played hide and seek. We played Jackbox.
That's all we did.
A lot of the fun for me is just talking, like, because like always in the VC, it's like me, Giraffe, you, Lesbian, TV, Sky, etc. But then we get to know these other people that like are pretty silent, like Pineapple.
Yeah, I do like that a lot too.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I wish they would join more because they're fun people, and I really like to get to know them. Like I always try to reach out to the people that like I don't talk to usually. I'll shoot them DMs. I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? You okay?" Not you okay, like they're like doing bad or anything. I just want to like try to show interest, try to show that like the staff like cares about like them. They're not just like playing on the server and like being ignored or whatever.
There are
like that's what I like.
There are ways to do that, actually. Like, a lot of times, what I used to do back during... I don't do this anymore at all, but what I used to do during Spawn 2 and 3 a little bit was, like, when a new player would get on, I'd be like, hey, what's going on? I'm the owner. Like, I would let them know I'm the owner, and I'd be like, so if you need anything, let me know. Like, so where are you building? And I'm going to go ahead and, like, find out what they're doing. And I'd be like, kind of... And I'd give them some blocks or something, and I'd just kind of hang out with them. And I'd let them know, like, this is a friendly little community, and if you need anything, let me know, and I'd leave. And I'd leave a flower in a pot in front of their house, like, welcome to the server. I was extremely friendly back in the day. Not anymore. I don't give a shit about my players anymore. If my server was dead for days, I'd be sad though. I'd be like, what the hell? Why aren't you on my goddamn server? Because I'm a narcissist.
We get a pretty good amount of players. Like during like 3 to 5 p.m., we get like 15 to 20 players usually. It's usually like the regulars.
During the day,
it just kind of dies down at nighttime. But during the day we get it. We have a good solid player base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed the server lately. Actually, it's
because Albino, you came on before me, but you kind of just like started being much more active recently.
You need to talk more, Albino. You have a lot. You spawned 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I joined in Spawn. I joined in Spawn 4. I joined to Lookalana and Sheen and Schnitz and them. We that was like the main group online. I think there's a little thing going on there. I always hang out with the most popular group.
Just whoever's in the VC.
Yeah, just whoever's in the VC actually, and that's true. So it was just Localana left, and then I left, and then everybody else left, and it was kind of I joined back every now and then. Like there were a few times I got on and did something, and then got off, and then didn't come back for like another month.
Yeah.
There were a few times I got back on.
Early Spawn 5.
Yeah, overall, I didn't even see the spawns at the time. I just kind of hung out at my base. So it just kind of didn't work for me at the beginning, and then I got back into it, and I'm glad I got back into it. I love it here.
Why did you come back? You just joined the VC one day and were like, oh, you guys are cool. I'll stay.
Actually, I deleted the Discord server, but I didn't delete the Minecraft server from my thing. So I got on. I asked for the Discord server invite, and then I joined Sky and Lesbian in a call. Just, one day.
That's cool.
Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. We're pretty cool.
Is that me? Who is that? That looks like a face. Like if you turn around, you see me like, oh shit!
Above you is albino,
you
and
doing
then
poggers.
to the left of that is
well, you can
a lot
see
of people in a bed.
Well, you can see kind of a face, like in that.
Oh yeah,
Like
you can see a face
an eye
in it.
and a nose and a mouth, you know, like
Yeah.
And he looks
I
like
think
a
that's
like
just
a
how the
dude.
map rendered.
Is that actually the outline of his face, or is that just shadows?
That's just.
I think that's just how the map rendered on Minecraft.
And then here's my senior portrait. Very, very clean.
Oh my
very
god.
Oh my god, it's Asian.
And then here's the cuddle stack that Base refused to participate in.
Yeah. No, Base was on, but he was on what's it called? He was on his other account trying to get himself banned or something.
Yeah, I was trying to get
I
myself.
remember it. You're like trying to. Oh, I'm gonna take this.
Yeah. We have a time. You know, there was a time when we tried to make our own currency on the server. Swing kick out during spawn 3.
The Trimbo token or something.
Yeah, it was during spawn 3, but there was no economy at the time. There was no shops. You know, right now we have shops, and the shops came with a bartering thing with diamonds, basically. I never participated in that, you know, so it's really weird, you know, looking back on time. You know, the economy didn't exist until mid spawn 5. So,
Yeah, no. It was just based
aliens.
on on.
Aliens.
Yeah, I blame it on the aliens personally. I blame it all on the aliens. I blame it on the flat earthers, the aliens, and then the Rick and Morty fans.
Yeah. I believe in fucking Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, trying to find that.
you know, I truly believe I was part of one of the people that created the Szechuan sauce. If you look back enough on my Reddit, you'll find a post that has like 1,800 upvotes. And it was on one of the first Szechuan sauce posts. It was like, what'd you guys think of the new Rick and Morty episode? It was like, and I was like, Szechuan, and I just posted the Szechuan sauce. It got upvoted the most on that post. And I think people saw that and created memes for my name. I made this happen.
So it's your fault.
You are posting something from a child of a child from another, you know, string of things that happened on another of other people, just something that was referenced from me, you know. And here we are meeting again. Hello, Caleb.
Hello. What's up?
That's probably not what happened at all. I think, you know, that was supposed to happen from the beginning. No, albino. Why?
Bad. Lesbians here
Serves
now.
doesn't-
Bad. No, I love the server. The server's awesome.
Yeah, what made you join Minecraft, like this server in the first place? What was your It was Aerosmith.
It was because of no, it wasn't Aerosmith. So like winter break, like or holiday break or whatever rolls around like December for college students. We get off, and all of a sudden, all my friends are free now. We can actually like do stuff together. And we were originally on my friend. I don't know if you remember Panzor.
Yeah, I remember Panzer.
His acapella group had a server that we played on like the previous summer.
Acapella.
But he's a singer, And then that server closed down due to inactivity. We were trying to look for a new server. Panzer was like, "Oh, I found a server," and then he just linked it to me. And then me and Aerosmith go on. We're just gonna like fuck around or whatever. Just like it's just a Minecraft server. We don't even know anyone here. We don't know anything about the community. And then we see a Discord. We were like, "Oh, should we join the VC? We're gonna troll a little bit." And then it's GV was in there and Feastus was in there.
No
and we were just
shit.
like, yeah, GV, without you, I wouldn't be here, dude. I remember, because Feastus had to like go, he make something in the oven or something. We were just
Thank
talking
God.
about like old memes and YouTube poops or something like that. And then Feastus
we were
came back, he
talking
showed
about
us the
YouTube
wiki
poops.
and like all the lore of the server. I was like, oh.
Oh wow.
And then Aerosmith goes to me after we end the call. We're like,
yeah.
oh, let's be part of the community. Like this is chill. Like they were like mentioning Bass Player 94 or whatever. all good things, of
Wow.
course. And and then I was
don't
like,
believe that, but sure.
we kind of got hooked. We just like played Minecraft.
You know, I'd love to get the wiki back going again. Like if I could like every time somebody becomes an inspector, I'd be like, okay, so you have to make a wiki about yourself.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. I think Golden is doing something like that. They're making like they have a library and like a bunch of players have like written bios in there. There's at least like 10. There's at least like 10 in there. I think
But
Dark
it's
Helm
in
did-
the server, right? Like not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's on the pathway to the NRA. There's like a library with like this bios of players, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
I just kind of trolled mine. I didn't really write anything
Yeah.
serious, but yeah.
So Caleb brought up old memes, which clicked in my head to a thing I got earlier. You guys want to keep talking about this?
Sure. Well, no, whatever. Go ahead.
So, what is the weirdest trend you guys have fallen into?
Trend?
Yeah, like a fad.
Bands. 2009,
Silly bands. I had silly bands. Was that even a trend? I feel like that was just
Hell yeah.
everyone had that.
Yeah, it was a
I
trend.
did in like early high school. I did cringe dancing.
Back
you know,
the
like
fuck up. When you say early high school, here's the thing: is when did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2018, so I'm talking probably
God.
2015. I'm talking probably like 2015.
Jesus.
Dabbing,
understand, dude.
Running Man, stuff like
I
that.
was in high school between 2009 and 2012. Okay, like silly bands were around then. Like I was in college in 2015. 2017, I was like finishing up. At least I thought I was. You know, I just was a dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? I never saw silly
Yeah,
bands
yeah.
after high school.
I had silly bands. Those were a thing when like I was in second grade. That's when that was popular for me.
What in the fuck?
Okay, so you're talking like we have like a generational gap or whatever, but I'm like one of the older players on the server.
really
Is the
are.
thing? Yeah, I'm
Well,
like
it makes
20,
me
and that's
realize
like old.
I'm like
for the
not
other
even a
kids.
part of the generation of this server.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like just this. Like there's a circle, right? I draw a circle and I put a bunch of dots. That's all the players of the circle. I put one dot outside the circle. That's me.
Well,
And everyone goes silent, like, yeah. I don't want to be the guy to say it, Base. Well, what do I
You're not
do? What do I do? Like, do I just, like, listen to you guys and go, okay, this is what the things should be? Like, you guys are, I will say this about Generation Z. You guys are the most punk rock. Well, no, because some of you are not. You guys are very non-conformity. But those who are extreme conformity in your generation are like so powerful, and it's toxic. I don't know.
You're not a fan of Gen Z?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm a little too old for TikTok, but I've seen some
Look,
TikTok.
I'm not gonna say this. I'm not a fan of Gen Z. Like, I can't say your generation is bad. I think some of the fads that your generation has created are gonna be rubber banded against at one point, and you're not gonna like it. and it might be in like 10 or 15 years. We'll see. Um,
Yeah,
my
you're gonna
what
look
my
back and look at like how cringe a lot of this stuff
yeah.
is.
And it's just a part of how you're growing up. Like I was on the tail end of the millennials. You know, like my
Mhm.
generation looked at me and thought I was part of your generation.
Yeah.
And your generation looks at me and goes, "You're a goddamn millennial." Like I'm in like this in between gap, like this little gray area. It's really weird. I've never like truly I've never felt like I was part of a real generation because I can talk to millennials all day long. I can talk to a 36-year-old and relate to them on a technological scale. Like, you know, like, oh, when I was growing up, I was, you know, filming, I was, you know, what, recording TV shows on VHS tapes. Or, you know, everything was analog back in the day, basically. And, like, I grew up with the little transition. Like, my dad burned CDs for songs, and I'm going on another tangent, you know. So I'll let you guys talk.
I'm like towards the older half of Gen Z, so I'm also Gen Z. I personally I don't really have that many issues because the way I see it, like I look at everything they do, it's like it's fucking cringe. But I look back 5 years ago, I just think about like what I was doing, and I'm just fucking cringe. Also, like I feel like that's like every generation. Like the boomers are looking at the millennials like, oh, those fucking damn kids, and now the millennials are like the fucking zoomers. They're fucking
Squared.
cringe pieces. It happens. It happens. But also, I feel like we're not even that different. Like I can talk to like some people on the server are like 12, 13. I like lesbian and Sky are 12 and 13. I'm like 8 and 7 years older than them. I can still relate to them. I can still talk to them. I like them a lot. They're my friends. It's not weird for me, you know?
It's a different level for me. Like I don't talk to you guys like I talk to my friends, 100%. Like my close friends. Like if I had maybe you guys a little bit more than, you know, like Nymphadora or anyone else, because I'm literally 10 to 15 years older than you guys. So I have to take on more of a like it's weird. Like in the
A
beginning,
father
it wasn't
figure.
like not even that. It's like I have two cousins, right? And they're like 9 years old. And the way I talk to them is like an older brother, you know. Like they chew with their mouth open. I'm like, can you guys stop doing that? Stop doing that right now. I literally cannot sit next to you if you're gonna chew
Oh
with your mouth open.
god, I relate to
And they'll
that.
be like, I don't care. And they'll be like, I'm leaving. And I grab my food and I leave, you know, kind of thing. That's the same way I treat this server. Like, okay, so you're not going to stop doing this thing. I'm going to stop you from doing this thing then. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few times, and then if you don't stop, I'm going to make you stop.
Yeah.
It's almost like a manager at a job. And I don't want to treat it like that. Like, if you talk to me during Spawn 2, this was a fun little project. This was just fun. Like, I didn't take it more than just Minecraft. And I'm playing a game with, you know, a couple people join every day, you know, like when somebody joined, it's like, oh shit, somebody joined. Hey, what's going on? What are you up to? Oh, I'm just mining right now. Oh, right on. And I teleport to them and I kind of mess with them a little bit, you know, whatever.
I feel like it's very necessary though. Like there has to be an authority figure. Like they can't
Yeah.
just be like free reign. You can't like as much as you are like one of us. You can't like just be on equal like one of us. You know what I mean?
You
Like
have
someone has to be in charge.
you have to make pragmatic decisions. Somebody has
And
to.
someone has to be the bad guy. That's how I felt when I had to be mod, and like when I became admin. And I feel bad because I'm recognizing that these are kids and stuff, and it always hits me like I was like you when I was a kid, but I still have to like jail you even though I was just like you
That's fine.
because I can't let you get I can't just like let people keep getting away with this or else people are gonna get like complaining about like their stuff getting stolen, stuff being griefed. I'm gonna have to be the bad guy sometimes, and that's just how it's gonna have to be. As much as I want to be everyone's friend, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's everybody, you know, like you can't when somebody comes on and they start they've been on the server for a minute and then they start fucking around, you're like, what do I do? Do I just do I jail them? Like they've already kind of established on here a little bit. That's another variable that's kind of not really talked about. I don't know, Nagito. I don't know their reputation on the server. And you told me earlier they were jailed 4 times. I'm sure it wasn't that easy to ban them, but I'm sure it wasn't that hard to ban them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just banned him.
Yeah, it's like my point is like when you have a player that hasn't been around that often, has been around for a while. Jesus Christ.
Are you referring to like the Aerowolf kind of Aerowolf situation type thing?
Yeah, or even what's his name? The guy they called all the mods transphobic.
Jingsu?
Yeah,
Well,
they were
Corey.
around for a little while, and it's like, what do you do in that situation when somebody is been on the server for a while and they act bad, or even T,
Yeah, that's a good example.
I think, well, with T, I can say I handled that. I don't know. You have to talk to people pragmatically.
Mhm.
You have to tell them exactly what you have an issue with. You have to go and say, are you planning on? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about the server? And they might ask you like what you're talking about, and you say, well, you've been doing this and this and this, and it's been very toxic, And
It's hard when they're your friend too, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting because you develop a different kind of friendship. It's like a professional friendship almost. It's
Mhm.
weird because you can't. Like I remember when Schnitz left. I felt like he called me and he had issues with the way I was running things, and I just told him, I was like, well, I'm sorry, this is the way things are. If you plan on leaving, this is the way it is. And, he said he was leaving, and that was it. In one way or another, that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
Same thing with basically the same thing with T. I had an issue with her behavior, and she didn't like the way I approached her, I guess. And she left the server. It's weird because players like Ratchet and Localena. Well, Localena she's a little crazy.
You're wearing Ratchet's head, right?
Yeah, Ratchet was I understand him. What is this noise?
They're snoring. They're just freaking snoring.
How did that wasn't a thing
How do you
before.
know that? How do you know that?
Get off the table, stop snoring.
Yeah, nerds, get up, man.
It's funny. Get us more questions. Dude, I'm
Produce more questions.
I like how this is going. This is
Yeah,
my
me
first
too.
podcast ever.
Oh, it is, isn't it, Caleb? We need to get you.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like we've talked about this so many times. Like, basis, like, yo, we're gotta do a podcast, and then now it's finally happening. Like, Aerosmith had a podcast like over a month ago, and he was like, "Oh,
Did.
yeah."
I'm so
I miss
sorry,
him.
man. Like, you really are a major part of the server at this point. You should have gotten a podcast 2 or 3 weeks ago, 100%. But I'm just lazy,
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I'm very nervous to just talk in a podcast in a 1 hour or one-on-one conversation and stuff. It made once we started, I'm perfectly
Me too,
fine now.
because-
But leading up to it, I get nervous.
No, the
you
problem
know?
is, here's an issue. You're being recorded.
Yeah.
Like right now, everything you say, you can't mess up. You're on a
Yeah.
tripwire. Like, say,
Yep. Yeah, my name is literally just my name.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
You
sure
walk
if someone
on it.
YouTube if someone from high school YouTubes my name, they're gonna find this podcast.
feel like
There's nothing else.
that's okay. Well, maybe we should change things, a little bit for you.
I don't care. I really don't care, honestly.
My point is you're on a tripwire. When you're on a podcast, you know you're being recorded. You can't say anything too crazy because of a lot of things, like my issues too, like cancel culture, not necessarily that, but like if I say something wrong, if I say something that's a little bit too opinionated, if I say something that might be that I might not agree with, but I just say, that can be used the fuck against me so hard.
That is true.
And and you guys too, like you can hear it when people, like when you talk and you're just like, it's like an interview almost, and that's scary. Like you listen to it, like I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, and you hear people who are brand new on the show, and they're almost like they're nervous when they're talking, and he says, "Oh, this is a podcast. It's real chill. It's really easy." Well, in 2015, it was really easy. But after it became big, it was something else. Thing is you have to understand the concept. Like, when I don't advertise this, it doesn't become big. People have to find it later on. That's why I didn't advertise the KCAL episode. Well, no, that's not why I didn't. That's a reason why I thought of much afterwards. And that's a good reason why I shouldn't. That's another good reason why I shouldn't advertise that. And I'm also lazy. So I think that little pressure that you have, like I said, you're on a. I've said this like 4 times. You're on a tripwire when you're on a podcast. If you say something wrong, you could fall to your death.
Yeah, basically. I feel like I generally am not the kind of guy to even like make those kind of statements. So I don't feel that nervous at all. To be honest, it's been chill.
I can say some pretty crazy bad shit. Like I can say some stuff that can make you go, hold on a second, base, whoa. And then here's the thing, is because I say stuff with no logic. I say offensive things sometimes. That's just like did you think about that before you said that? And I know.
Yeah, sometimes people just say shit and it doesn't mean anything.
You have to understand is some people are extremely reactive.
Yeah.
Like Yowzers, who was here, he's an extremely reactive individual. He goes, like, if you say something, if you say something that he might react to, he will react to it on a level that some other people might not like. Like you can look at like Dark Hell. He's a object of not as reactive material as far as I could tell. He does react, but he's not as reactive as some others are. So you could come to him with some information and he might just be like, "Oh, okay." That's it. You're like, "All right, cool." Like he's not going to explode.
I like that you can tell people like think before they react instead of just like hearing something and immediately snap.
Well, the problem.
Like, whoa, you said that.
The problem with me is, I mean, I do that sometimes, is I don't think before I react and I just kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, as long as you can like just think it out and just like talk it over and just like take time, I feel like anything can be worked out, right?
For the most part, yeah.
I'm gonna ask this last topic of the day, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm really fucking tired. Did you guys have any extracurricular stuff you did back in school? Like you did band, bass, for example. I used to be a theater. I used to be a theater kid back in middle school. I wrote. I wrote and directed my school play, and I have a rock band, and I sing pop and play guitar for one of my other friends. I
did not know this
thing for now. So yeah.
Well, I can go. I was like the music guy in my grade. I was like, if you thought about like a music guy in my grade, it was me. I was like the only kid in my class to get all state. I played the cello. It was very fun. I practiced a lot. My parents were really Asian. Started me piano lessons when I was 5. I was the pianist pianist or whatever for the school choir, even though I couldn't sing for shit. I'm a shit singer, by the way. I just basically play the cello, pit orchestra, extracurricular, just like outside school cello, and yeah, that was mostly my thing. I ran track. I guess I did swimming too. I became a lifeguard. Lifeguarding's great. I love lifeguarding.
So, fun fact about me. It's very interesting, Caleb. I was a ROTC member in my freshman year of high school.
Really?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I would walk around with the uniform and my so I know a lot about dressing nicely just because I was in ROTC. 100%. I never thought like ROTC would teach me so much about how to dress. Like if you give me a nice pair of shiny shoes, good slacks, and a nice button-up shirt, I'll look fucking good in that shit.
Dude, I had the worst dress sense in like all of school. I would just wear a random t-shirt, shorts, and just sneakers like almost every single day. And if it was cold, sweatpants and a jacket. I was completely like useless to like getting dressed. I was like an idiot.
I still do that. I still do that every day.
Yeah, I still don't really know how to dress
That's
well,
still-
honestly.
I
Still,
recently started to dress extremely well. Like I really started to care a lot about how I look, and like I used to just wear literally just t-shirt, ripped jeans, the same ripped jeans every single day, and basically the same t-shirt. Like I have just my like some clothes just spread across the ground up until I was like 25, 26. Now I am much more organized. I set out my clothes for the morning, and I keep things. Literally, dude, I have jammies. I'm not even kidding. Like I am an organized motherfucker.
Yeah, I just reach into my drawer. I take out the first T-shirt I find. I grab the first set of shorts I
There
find.
you go.
Yeah, I got it. I have a decent amount of shoes though. I like shoes.
I have a
That's-
bunch
I
of
never
I've
had
bunch
shoes.
sweat-
I just recently started wearing
socks
shoes.
around the
Yeah.
house. I either wear a t-shirt or I wear like a jacket or like a little
Yeah.
sweatshirt.
I like went through a phase. I would just wear the same jacket to school every day, and I would just look the same every single day. And it's just thinking back, it just feels so embarrassing.
I thought I was really fucking cool with my leather jacket in middle school.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was a little theater kid. I did a bit. That was before I did my guitar. Yeah, but I was like pretty big with a bunch of people back then, and not a lot of people liked me, but it wasn't good affection. It was negative affection, but it was affection, and I took it.
Were you well liked in high school?
What?
Either of you. Were you guys like well liked in high school?
Oh,
No. I'm
I
still in high school.
the thing is when I was in high school, I went to a school that was on the east side of San Antonio, Texas. So here's the thing: is as a straight white guy, I was a minority. Like most of the
Really?
people most of the people in my school were Hispanic, and then the second ethnic group was black. Like I was part of like 15 or 16% of a group of people, and they were very sporty people. Like there was a lot of it wasn't bad. It was just there was 4,000 kids at the school,
Dang.
and
My graduating class was like 200, I think.
Jesus Christ, I would have loved
Yeah.
that. Yeah, there was like 4,000 kids, like everybody. And it was meant for not even that, like 1,900 or something. So it was bad. Like with the amount of crowdedness in between classes. Like you can literally find memes of my school if you wanted to online.
Nice.
So yeah, I wasn't liked. There was too many people for me to be liked at my high school. It was just I was in the guitar class, you know, I was in the AV class, you know, I was liked in those areas. I was the only bass player in my by the way, if you guys didn't know this, I actually play the bass guitar.
Oh,
Wait,
really?
Wait, you
Really?
play bass?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I started
you
playing when I was
behind
about 15 years old. My grandma got me a bass. And I just kind of kept going from there.
If you look directly behind you, hey,
And there I am.
I have my guitar in my hand.
Ah, yes. Very
You
true.
do. Here's your face with your guitar.
My school was like 50% Jewish, and there was like 3 Asians in my
New
grade.
York, so.
Yeah, a lot of Jewish kids, and especially on Long Island. I think I was like almost everyone knew me, but it was just like, oh, it's Caleb. It's the Asian guy.
Yeah.
It's Caleb. So I was like, oh, cool. So like I was like kind of well liked, but it's like, oh, I'm just the Asian guy. What is going on around here?
Cool JJ Gamer just died.
Oh, that's
His life
a,
was taken from him.
that's an L.
I mean, if you keep on walking towards a bush that pokes you, don't keep walking towards it, you know? It'll kill you. And once you die, what do? Do you get mad at it? I mean, look, there's so many other
You become
scenarios
a
on the
ghost.
server I
You
guess I
become a
could use
ghost.
that analogy on, but I decided to use it here. I'm sorry
Yep.
to those of you who feel that this is unfair, but life is unfair. And the
That
world
is
is
true.
not.
So
Like Nugget probably felt that way.
prepare,
Yeah,
prepare
That
for.
guy was very annoying.
Anyway,
prepare for
you were albino. We've already called this. Well, this was kind of a. We were supposed to do this tomorrow, but you know, we were like, "Fuck it, let's do it today." I'm sorry, my mom, my God, my grandma, my grandma wanted to watch WandaVision with me.
How was
my
it?
grandpa. It was good.
I heard it's great.
It's a good show. It's interesting. If you watch the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You can get it.
I don't. I'm not really into superhero stuff. I'm like super like
I
pretentious.
never was either, dude. I was like, I was super like, I watched Iron Man back in the day. I was like, okay, this is cool, I guess. And I didn't start watching it until Infinity War came out, and everyone I was working with was like, dude, you gotta watch Infinity War. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta watch these earlier movies first. And I started watching those, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. Like without the idea in my head at all. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm like very watch like pretentious like foreign French films and shit like that. It's very sad.
Well, okay, so tell me why you believe that. Okay, so do you watch those for the specific reason so people will look at you and go, "Oh, Caleb, you wonderful. You are so intelligent."
I don't talk to people about
Well, then
filming.
it's not that pretentious. You're just interested.
No,
in it.
it's just like I say pretentious because when I say I don't watch superhero movies, I would much rather watch like a South Korean film or something like that. It comes across as like pretentious.
Say that. Be like, okay, so this comes across as pretentious, but what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
interested in particularly is this.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
is
like,
that-
and then someone would be like, yeah, you do come across as pretentious like that, and then you tell them to eat shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Not into
So-
the Star Wars and
Yeah.
event stuff.
Anyways,
Albino, thanks for coming to us. You know, man, thanks for hanging out. You know, I think, I mean, how long have we been doing this for? We
How long
started
have
at
we-
9. It is 23.
Really?
Hour and a half is good, right? Well, my hour is. So
Oh, I was
think
about to
it's
say.
23 for
I was
me.
about to say. Was this 3 hours? Like, what
Wait,
the hell?
wait. I need a CST or EST.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that here. One last thing. We want to make that official? The official time for the server is EST.
I'm
We could
down.
do that. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Because the server, when you log into the server, it is Eastern Standard Time, and the majority
Yeah.
of my players is Eastern Standard Time, and it's easy for a lot of people to go to because it's, you know, the UK, it's 5 hours beforehand.
Also, when you're announcing like events like Trimbo, you could say this time EST, and it's going to be
EST.
consistent.
Yeah, it would always be consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, we could be
So do
consistent.
we want to make that official here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
EST is the official standard time for Trimbo.
Put it in official statements.
It will be Trimbo Eastern Standard Time, or TEST, or test.
Or we could just do TST, Trimbo Standard Time,
Trimbo
which is
Standard
just
Time is EST.
which is just equivalent to EST.
Yes! TST is EST.
Yep,
I love it. Okay.
let's do it.
Alright. Thanks a lot, guys.
Later. See you next time.